have a chance. You goddamn crocodile! Go back to the fucking Florida! Go back to the Florida, you fucking crocodile!
Yeah, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
What's up, guys? It's, of course, Andrew Esquire, American attorney, currently in Manila, Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. I'll tell you about that in a second. But hope you guys are having a wonderful time. Welcome to the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Also, please bear with me today. This is the most rigged setup I've had in a very long while, using my webcam, using my portable ghetto light, and a cable, which I totally forgot, which requires my mic to be up in my grill. It's like right here. You can actually see it in the bottom frame, which is not normally where I have my mic. But good to see everybody here today in the house. And I missed y'all. It's been really good. It's good to be back, and I've got a lot to talk about. So much to talk about. It's going to be a very, very, very good time. But yeah, what's up? And shout out to everybody in the chat here today. So yeah, we're going to get into it with this V&U issue, because I wanted to get into it a while ago, but I have been really, really busy. So just so you guys know, typically when I'm on one of these work trips, I'm busy from 8 a.m., 9 a.m. until like the middle of the night. So I've been working a lot, kind of nonstop, because I don't just stream. A lot of people think I just stream. It's not all I do. And one of the big things I like to do is help folks come over here to Asia. And the Philippines is, of course, a prime destination for many folks coming from the U.S. to Asia. So anyways, I'm over here until April 1st. So I will still be kind of busy running around until April 1st when I'm back in Bangkok. So yeah, that's when you'll see me in my normal setup. I have two screens here. I'm just on my laptop, one screen. It's a lot slower. It's not my like fiber connection. So it's going to be very, very simple show today. It's also going to be quicker because I have work to do, in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I've got a limited time today. So the scope of today's thumbnail is going to be going over the lies and the bullshit that's been put down by V&U. And I have been absolutely enraged by the stuff they have talked about in their notifications, because I have seen the contract. So we're actually going to go over the contract itself, in addition to the notices. So that's kind of the scope today of what we're going to go over, is the notices that they put on Twitter, how they are really, really fucking stupid. And then we're going to go over the contract itself. Now, I do apologize for cursing, guys, but this really works me up, because this is a situation in which you have a power disparity, and you also have a company that is knowingly trying to spread BS and misinformation when what they're saying is patently not true and wouldn't be true even under their own situation. But yes, I see my Filipinos saying, welcome to Manila. Yeah, I'm having a great time. It's fantastic here. Very similar to Thailand in many ways, but also very hospitable. Similar to Thailand. Very hospitable people. Thailand, very hospitable. Filipinos, very hospitable. And loving it here, having a great time, but I'm really, 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 really busy. So I am like, every minute of my day is taken up by this. So it's hard to find time to stream, especially on a more restricted setup. But that said, I don't forget about you. Senpai doesn't forget about you guys. And thank you guys for coming through. Horse Clopper says, happy birthday, Andrew. It's not my birthday. My birthday's in August. So I don't know what's up with that, Horse Clopper, but it's not my birthday. Not my birthday. WB Hokey 13 says, keep up the good work, sir. Always informed and entertaining. That's what I try to be. Thank you for supporting me. And thank you guys for coming through. That's exactly how I'm able to do this on a regular basis, because I get support from people like you. Sparkshot, new member. Thank you. Welcome as a new member. Appreciate you joining the most based membership out there on YouTube. And we will have a members only stream coming up. That is coming. So bear with me. Also, Mr. Tubestuck with 125 Filipino pesos. You're going to get my cab to work today. Thank you very much, Mr. Tubestuck. It says, I watched your long man reaction and your notification popped up. My man, welcome back and welcome to Manila. Thank you so much. Appreciate being here. Having a great time, enjoying it here. Hanging out. I'm in Manila, so hanging out at BGC and Makati and Ortigas, going all over the place. It's great. It's great. And I've got to explore more of the Philippines. I need to get at some point to Cebu, to Boracay, go around different places to check it out as well. And yes, I did get a haircut. Thank you for noticing. Celestia Fox for 5 says, a bit late. What did I kiss? Also, you've been amazing to listen to while I'm work. Keep up the based facts. Thank you, Celestial Fox. I ain't stopping anytime soon, and I ain't pulling any punches. I really do not care. Okay, is this an inside joke? Wishing you a happy birthday, $5 from Disregard. Hey, welcome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So yeah, people say BG lechon. Yeah, we'll definitely have some lechon. How's traffic? Traffic is actually not so bad. Because it's early in the morning. If it's not early in the morning, it's kind of rough. But of course, it is Holy Week, so it's lightening up a little bit for Holy Week. Panthera says, been 4 months since I've been watching you since Reedy Creek. Awesome. Thank you. Gin Blade says, Thai Red Bull is much better than others. I haven't had them in years. You influenced me to buy them. Welcome back, Senpai. There we go. Boom. Got you. Got you hooked. You can blame me. I also found, if you check my Twitter, there's this really cool one I found in the Philippines at a 7-Eleven in Ortigas. This was a really, really cool DBZ themed energy drink, which I just found like when I was roaming around, a random encounter, 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, okay, what do I need? I need to stay up. I need to get some work done. And I found this. This is super based, right? DBZ pill, Lipovatan. Now, this is a Japanese company. It's made by Taisho Pharma, but obviously I found it in Manila. Really awesome. The other cool thing, you can kind of see it on the side here, but there's like a Saiyan that's doing a Kamehameha to the barcode. So the barcode literally looks like a Kamehameha. It's actually really, really based in DBZ pill. So just want to say that's really, really cool. Let's see. Vox says, I meant miss. My keyboard betrayed me again. Don't worry. I'm going on a different setup too. I get it. Hero Brian says, I used to make sandcastles with my grandma, but my parents found it creepy, so they glued urn shut. Hex, probably. Oh, come on. Morbid jokes this early. In fact, I've still got all my reactions despite being away from home. I've still got the
Disgusting.
There you go. I got you. And Muzzy, what's up, Muzzy? Welcome back. Thank you so much for the 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Appreciate you guys. Give me that support. That really helps me do this on a regular basis. And also want to say a big thank you to my mods, Professional Gentlemen, Danielle. They do a great job. They help support me really day to day. So I just want to say thank you to those guys. They do a fantastic job. Or the guy and the gal, right? The mods are the best. Thank you so much. And thank you, Muzzy. Appreciate you, brother. All right, let's get it going. So what are we talking about when we are talking about the V and U statements? Well, there's actually two. So let me start with what I believe is the first one. And this should be this one. So let me share this with you guys. Now, this was the first one. So this one came out on March 21st. So this is like around when I just got here to Manila. This statement from VNU came out. There's two statements. So please make sure that you are looking at both statements, not just one, because it's very interesting here that they put out two statements. And let me be very, very clear about this in the situation with Amano Serafi. Amano Serafi, or the pilot of Amano Serafi, just wanted to move on. I've spoken to them behind the scenes. They just wanted to move on with their life. They just wanted to go ahead. The person who was the pilot of Amano Serafi, I'll just say Amano Serafi, they wished nothing but good things for their gen mates. They wished nothing but good things for the other VTubers at VNU. They did not want this to become drama. They just wanted to terminate their contract. They just wanted to not be an indentured servant to a Korean company. This is something that in the modern era should be pretty reasonable. But instead, they sent a bill. Instead, VNU said, we're going to send you a bill for $500,000, $450,000 US dollars, approximately over 600 million won, Korean won. You guys have seen it. You've probably seen my video. You've probably seen False's video, Kyo's video. They sent these massive bills. By the way, I'm not going to do it today because I'm limited on time, but we will go over the entire list. I wasn't going to do it, but they brought the fire. So I'm going to go over the full list of charges, because the full list of things they wanted to bill for, not just my chef's selection. We're going to go over everything on a separate stream because they brought the thunder. Because they issued not just this bill, but one message, then two messages. And not just that, but they were lying, straight up lying about material representations about the facts and about the contract. So they were lying in both cases. So to me, this is something where it's just something that is going to be looked at very, very, very not favorably in the eyes of the public, because VNU decided to bring this heat. They decided to bring this upon themselves. They decided to subject themselves to this bad PR. And listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. There may never be a case, and they're probably 99.9% of the time, they're not going to get punished in Korea. There's going to be no lawsuit coming against them filed in Seoul. But what there will be is people that will call them out and make others lose confidence in this company because they're absolute fucking trash. And I say that from the perspective of them pulling a Niji Sanji and not just misstating facts, but attempting to bully somebody into working for them. That is called slavery, and that is not okay. It's not even okay under Korean law. In fact, if you look at Korean law, which actually I am a little bit, despite not being a Korean lawyer, right? I am not a Korean lawyer. However, I have read the English versions of Korean labor law when I was working on, as I mentioned many times before, when I lived in Korea and I had friends who worked at Hagwons and I was looking at getting them out of the Hagwon contract, getting them out of the English teaching contract. I've looked at Korean labor law, and from what I understand, they would probably be violating Korean labor law by pretending this isn't a labor contract, but yet trying to enforce it like a Korean labor contract. It's really, really ridiculous. It is, yes, I am not a Korean law gator monkey.
Fighting monkey.
Yes, full disclaimer. Full disclaimer. Can I pin this? Can I pin this right now? Is there a way for me to pin this easily from no, I can't pin it easily. Okay, but anyways, thank you, professional gentlemen. Yeah, this is this is gonna be another one. Let's see. White boy who ghosted Uki became a new member. Oh, Uki. That's another one. Oh my God. Thank you so much for that becoming a member. Also, Crimson Overture, welcome as a member on YouTube. Thank you. Legal Mindset Ring Fit stream when? No. Baddest says, weren't you supposed to do a 2D debut? I'm not at 200K subscribers. I'm almost at 150, but I said I'll do a 2D when I'm at 200K. When I get there, I'll do 2D. I'll do 2D. Vim, welcome as a new member. Appreciate you. Welcome as a member of the Base Legal Mindset. Appreciate you very much. Can I be your paralegal? Let me add him. Junie, on another day. Not this one, not yet. You can annotate the contract after I show it. How about that? Appreciate you, Junie. Appreciate you. Shout out to Junie. She's a good girl. Very nice, very, very sweet girl. Very much appreciate her. Very much appreciate Junie. Follow Junie. She's a very based ferret girl. All right, so let's get into this notice. So what do we have here? This was a notice about Amano Serafi. This was put out, the first notice. Hello, this is VNU Entertainment. Today we might make an announcement regarding Solstice Amano Serafi. That's the generation with Solstice. On February 28th, Serafi informed VNU of her intention to break contract and refuse to continue direct communication. Actually, I don't think that's correct. I think that she actually informed them of her will to terminate before that. I know that she's going to do a separate statement and separate notice on some facts here, but I don't think that's accurate. So anyways, she further expressed that she would proceed with further communication through legal procedure. That's not correct. Now, I want to give a little bit of a shout out here, but maybe this is a translation. Maybe this is a translation from Korean. That's a very poor translation. Like future communication will be through legal procedure. Maybe. But she never intended to sue. She just said, if you want to talk to me, talk to my lawyer, right? Send anything you want to send to the lawyer, right? I mean, that's fair enough, right? Just go talking through your lawyer is not legal procedure. Legal procedure means courts. This is actually a material misstatement. It's actually a lie, which is one thing that really pisses me off because it's a material lie. It makes her sound like the aggressor when she's not. Tankrat says, damn, you go on leave and buttholes just keep dropping all types of crap. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right, Tankrat? Also, shout out. Appreciate you, Tankrat, as a based member for 22 months. Tinkerland says these companies seem to think that no laws apply because it's international. What kind of monkeys do they have for their legal team? Well, I think they've just got one. We'll see, though. We'll see. Silbury says, surprise stream. How's the humidity? Going to be in the Philippines myself 5 to 6 months. It's good, but remember, Silbury, I live in Thailand. So this is very similar to Thailand, very much on the pace. I'm also from Miami, Florida. Miami, very similar to both Manila and Bangkok. So I'm very used to humidity. So I'm dealing with it very well. I'm very accommodated for it. As you guys know, I'm nothing but a Florida crocodile. Now, let's continue this. So reading down here, Serafi's decision saddened us as we have deeply invested much time and effort to continuously work with her. So they're trying to create this narrative that they've spent all of this money on her, that they've invested in her like she's a freaking spaceship. Like they're trying to pretend that they've invested so much in this girl that they could buy multiple Lambos, right? I don't believe that. It is unbelievable that they invested that much money solely in her. I believe that is what we say in legal terms is bullshit. It's bullshit. And that's just the take from
Hello, Peso Department.
I'm just saying you got to call people out on their bullshit when they're lying. And this is a lie, right? This is absolutely a lie. We should not have shared the matter. We have not shared the matter publicly until now because we have held off from any formal legal actions that could jeopardize the possibility of working with her. That's crap. They never made any attempt to reconcile, to seem to want to work with her. What they wanted to do is they wanted to enslave her. And they wanted to force her to work. They wanted to intimidate her. They wanted to extort her, right? And that is what I don't stand for. I really don't stand for that. And look, if a company had a valid contract, I am all for enforcing it, or something that was not an attempted extortion. But what they attempted to do here is extortive, and it's also it's factually incorrect. And you cannot force somebody to work because there was not a term like this. What they're claiming here, and what they will claim in terms of like requiring her to work for a certain period, that's complete bullshit. It's complete BS. It's the company's decision how much the company spends on her. If the company wants to overspend, that is on the company. That is not on her. That's a company's decision. So if the company decided to do that, what that shows you is they are poor business managers, that they run a poor business, a shitty business. However, as the recent event that has been damaging to the other talents currently working with VNU, we are obliged to make no choice but to take legal action accordingly. We apologize for any inconvenience or concern caused to talents or fans of VNU due to the unexpected event. After this announcement, Serafi's membership will be closed immediately. Additionally, we will set the internal procedures for how to refund super chats and YouTube memberships that have been made to Serafi since December 2023. We will provide an update as soon as possible. Thank you. You know why they did that, guys? You know why they did that? You know why they did that? Because otherwise they'd be defrauding people. Because otherwise they would be pretty straightforwardly defrauding people, because they would be representing that they are still providing services for her. They're still accepting, memberships, accepting other gifts, accepting likes, accepting revenue on her page. They're not privating any of that. They're not paying her, even though they're due paying her under the contract, under any sort of law ever, particularly labor law, right? So they're trying to cover up now and save face, because they got caught and they got busted in 4K by yours truly, and also by Serafi herself. So by Amano, Serafi, and myself, through us both streaming this, we caught them attempting to defraud the viewers and the members. In fact, I had many people that came on my stream and said, I had no idea. I had no idea she was no longer providing content. And she had told them for over a month that she was out. They got caught in 4K, and it absolutely exposed them, which is why they did this, which is why they had to make this notice, because they can't just go on and do this into infinity and beyond, right? They waited a while to shut down the memberships, right? They waited a while because they thought they could milk it, because they wanted to milk it, because all they care about is that money. They do not care about the actual talent themselves, which is, look, a company is allowed to be focused on money. That's fine, right? In fact, even nowadays, focusing on money can even be a little bit...
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega-based.
But that said, you don't get to focus on money at the expense of a talent, or at the expenses of internet law. Oh, sorry. It's my internet week here. My internet might be like garbage. Once again, guys, Manila Airbnb internet, so with maybe 144p here, or 2D debut. Sorry, guys, be scoozy. It just is what it is. Welcome to Southeast Asia. Hari, welcome as a new member. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for the membership, for joining the RPG. Thank you with that. All right. So let's go on. So we got that. That's the first notice, right? We got that one, check mark. Now let's go to the second notice. This one, and let me show you both the posts. So this is the actual post here on this right here, which is, hello, this is VNU Entertainment. We would like to announce our contract termination on March 25th. Well, they actually already announced it on the 21st. But so this statement that they put out here on the 25th, this is the one that sent me Super Saiyan, right? This is the one that sent me Super Saiyan. I love this. Miguel says, we have a saying, the ISP is called PLDC. Yeah, but listen, this is the statement that made me pissed off. This is the one I had to address. And this is one I had to get on here and stream about, because it really needed to be talked about. So this is what they call their quote unquote official termination. So let's go into that, and let's look at this actual document with like actual detail, kind of zooming in here a little bit more to read this. Hopefully it's not too fuzzy for you guys as I come in to read. So this is the alleged contract termination, which they posted on March 25th. Once again, the second document. They had no need to post this document. They had absolutely no need to post this. But they decided to walk into this. They decided to bring the heat. They decided to start this fight. This is something that was started by them. Also, Don Bach says, word of the street is Andrew is there to corner the market on manila folders and envelopes. Damn you, Don. Damn you, Don. Appreciate you, my brother. One of the OGs, really great mod. Appreciate you very much. All right. So we would like to announce the contract termination with our talent, Amano Serafi, as of March 18th. So they're trying to backdate it. That may be the date of a notice that they may have sent to Serafi. I would have to check that. But perhaps they mailed something. But that said, they're trying to backdate it before this notice and share with you the sequence of events that led to this decision. In January 2023, a 3-year exclusive contract was signed by mutual consent between VNU and Serafi. In March of the same year, she made her debut as a member of VNU's Gen 2 Solstice. Guys, I want to start by saying this is a lie. This is a lie. The contract that was signed between them was not signed in January 2023. It was, in fact, signed in September of 2022. And it was not a 3-year exclusive contract. It does have a confidentiality clause that they are going to attempt to keep going for 3 years, but it does not have anything to do with with January. Mike, let's just show this. Here it is. Here's the agreement right here, guys. And I know the Clippers are going to get in here. The Clippers are going to get this. But you see this right here. Your boys got the contract. Your boys got the contract signed September 15th. This is their shell corporation. Their shell corporation is called Mitaro Co. Limited. This is the office information for them, their public office information on the 6th floor in Yeongnam-ro, Mapogu, Seoul, which is in the Yongin building. This, I know exactly where this building is. In fact, I have been to a law firm very close to that building as well. I actually know very, very well where this is in Korea. It's kind of close to the Hongdae area. If you guys ever gone out in Hongdae and partied in Hongdae, it's a lot of the colleges are out around that area. So yeah, it was signed in September of 2022. So their first statement out of the gate is a fucking lie. The only thing they've got is a fucking lie. They can't even get the date right. They cannot even get the date right. So how are you supposed to believe them if they can't even get their date right? Seriously. Come on. Jake Shinari says, with the Japanese don't know the Korean concept of reading the air, it's called nunchi. Nunchi in Korean is reading the air, nunchi. So you say you have nunchi, meaning you have the ability to kind of read the air, to predict it, to read situations, right? VNU or Niji may be assuming going through my lawyer as a veiled threat to escalate. Yes, they probably are. But guess what that is? It's kind of small dick energy, right? And you know what else it is? The whole interpreting it as aggression. That's not how you deal with people internationally. You do not assume that they're hostile, because guess what? They're going to respond in a way that is not going to be good for you. And you are going to get bad press when you as a company are trying to enslave a foreign worker. Like, sorry, guys. I know maybe you might think that's okay, but by the way, I don't think slavery is okay in Korea either. I mean, my Korean brothers and sisters, please confirm. I'm not a Korean lawyer, but I think that Korea repealed slavery. I think it's out of vogue, right? I think maybe like Joseon Dynasty, maybe at some point. Maybe. I don't know. First incarnation, second incarnation. Maybe the Shia. I always pronounce it right. Shia. Shia Empire. I don't know. Whenever it was, Korean bros in the chat, let me know when slavery was banned in Korea. It was at some point. I know it's not supposed to be legal, but you can't tell someone that they're forced to work and then drop a bill on them that is $500,000 to say you're either going to work to pay this off or we're going to come for you or you owe us this. Zamata, there's Korean in his name. So there we go. Slavery is in fact illegal here. Oh, wow. Shocker. Somebody needs to tell V and U. Someone needs to tell V and U. Also, Tigrat, thank you for 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Appreciate that. Professor Keen says, damn it, Legal Mindset, get some popcorn. It looks like I'll need it for the stream. Oh, yeah, this is a good one, guys. This is a real good one because this is something that has brought up my righteous indignation. And one thing you don't do is bring up my righteous indignation. By the way, Tankrat, thank you so much for being a mega Chad. Thank you for supporting this channel. You're an absolute giga on this. And for those memberships, I just want to say you indeed are.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Appreciate you. Also, Zypher, thank you for the 5. Appreciate it. Thank you. You're absolutely great. And you are 100% not.
Fighting monkey.
You're not. No matter what they say about you. I know you're not, okay? Thank you, Zypher. All right. Let's continue with this. So not that. Here we go. So we've already established the dates are wrong. Also, the exclusivity is wrong. So their claim that this was a quote-unquote exclusive contract is wrong. Now, what they might have been confused on, in which case they should have got an expert who knows English before they publish this in English. If this was a translation error, well, then they need to pick somebody who understands English and not pay them 7,400 won. By the way, that's the equivalent of what the Niji Sanji paid, right? Pay them more than minimum wage to translate your public statements, particularly when they're a big public statement like this that is going to get scrutiny, that is going to get grilled, right? You did not have a 3-year exclusive contract at all. You had one provision related to confidentiality, which you say should survive for 3 years. But you know what doesn't happen? When you have a bad faith breach of a contract or you refuse to perform on a contract in good faith, or let's say there's other issues with the contract, those things are not held up. Also, necessarily, that might not be held up as to Amano Serafi because of the nature of the situation, the nature of the work, and the nature of this contract is essentially unenforceable, right, as a whole. And also the attempt to make this into a labor contract without it being a labor contract. I think that may in and of itself void the confidentiality. And particularly because there's pretty egregious workplace issues here. This is something where the confidentiality will be thrown out in America because you are trying to enslave an American employee. And listen, it's 1776, baby, and we do not fall for that. Whether we're getting invaded by British or whether it's the Korean invasion, I don't care if you're going Gangnam style. That doesn't mean you can enforce unenforceable law in the United States. Jinblade says the Gabo reforms in 1894 abolished slavery in Joseon. Kamsamnida to you, Jinblades, for researching that. Thank you for doing my Korean research over here on the abolishing of slavery. So I'm sorry, V and U, despite your attempts at restoring slavery, you're about 200 years too late, bro. You're about 230 years too late, okay? Jaycation gifted 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. You're absolutely great. And you're totally not
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Totally not. Thank you, Jaycation. All right. So in March of the same year, she made her debut. No, I think that may just track her debut, but not the contract. Serafi has been a valued member and talent of VNU. Well, she didn't feel like it. And certainly a lot of stuff that came up, they didn't take care of her and they didn't properly support her. Part of the idea is that you would support your talent. And according to Serafi, they did not support her. In fact, they did anything but support her. They, in fact, neglected her. She was paid considerable support money for 10 months, including her training period. Now, to be fair, there was an initial period where they did support their VTubers. So let me be clear. We're going to look at the contract. We are going to look at the contract. There was a provision for them to support her in the beginning. This is true. This is true. And if what they had asked for, was trying to get a refund on the money they gave in support in the beginning, I might say that was reasonable, depending on how they did it. You're going to see when we look at the contract. Because once again, guys, I know people will think I'm being unfair here. I'm actually willing to be very accommodating to corporate interests and to corporate side of things if it's a fair balance between business and labor, right? But in this case, they're not just asking for her to pay back the money that they gave her to help her out in the beginning. No. They're in fact asking for much more than that. They're asking for $500,000 almost, right? So there's parts in here that could be reasonable, but the way they're doing it is not. Just be clear about that. Also, guys, be reasonable and smash that like button for me. Just smash it. Smash it right now. Smash it. We got 1,600 of you. Let people know that Legal Mindset is back, baby, that we are indeed back. Yeah, we're going to be covering more and more and more and more, good topics. Also, real quick, Sky RWBY says, V and U doing things that need you blush. Yes. And Zamana for 10,000 won from Manwan says, pretty sure contractor labor law can't go over 2 years in Korea. And if it does, you'd have to go through the whole firing process as if you're a full employee. Exactly. Which is why they try to pretend, Zamda, that it isn't a labor contract, even though it clearly is a labor contract. So they're trying to enforce a labor contract that clearly is not enforceable. That's the issue here. Okay. So let's continue here. She was paid considerable support money. We got that. She was also provided with a time off request. Okay, you provided her with time off. That's normal in non-Black companies. And offered continuous support with their activities. Actually, according to her account, you actually neglected her. Looking back, it has not always been easy for us to work with her. So they renege on this. They essentially go back and they say, she's a valued talent and member, but we're gonna shit talk her. We're gonna say bad things about her. And this is what cannot stand. And this is what made me mad here. Is they went in, they didn't just make the statements they had to make, but they wanted to make these additional statements to try to seem better, right? When they should have just shut up and gone about their merry way. But no, now they're going to get a PR black eye because they decided to be an idiot. They decided to be idiots. Looking back, it has not been easy for us to work with her as we had to change and reassign her a new manager 4 times to meet her needs. But we believed it was all part of the process. In February 2nd, 2024, so literally, guys, so she signed her contract in November of 2022. So she was there for almost 2 years, almost 1.5 years, right? So she was there about half the their expectation of 3 years, but the contract was really a 1-year contract. So let's see. She requested the early termination of her contract by compensation. She did not request it by compensation. That's their interpretation. She was saying, I'm done. Okay. In response to a request, we brought up concerns about the financial burden that could be put on her when offering compensation for early termination. There's no early termination. There was no requirement that she continue, right? We're going to get into that. We asked if she was open to negotiation, but she was firm with her decision. After that, Serafi officially asked us to give her an estimate of the amount she might have to pay to terminate her contract in compensation for our losses and damages. They have no losses and damages. These are business expenses, which normal businesses incur. And this is the document. We accordingly gave her a calculated amount with a full breakdown. So guys, what we have here is a confirmation of the document that I have as being legit. This is a self-report and a self-own. So just like Niji Sanji, they self-reported that what they gave was legitimate. So now even the VNU stands can't debate it. They confirm the document is a real document. Got them. They self-snitched. This is why these people, these agencies, the Niji Sanjis, the VNUs, this is why they are horrible at PR and why they're taking a PRW. They didn't have to say this. Why did they have to say this? Why did they have to make this statement? Why would they have to? They're dumb. They're idiots. If they were going to pursue legal action, just pursue legal action, little buddy. Maybe the reason why you feel like you need to make a statement is because, number one, you got that SDE bad. You know what I'm talking about, VNU managers. Just saying, VNU. Just saying. But on top of that, because you know you're not going to get shit from the legal process. You know that you're going to take an L, and at the most, you're going to waste your damn time. You're going to waste your time. You're not going to get anything. Right? You are going to take a giant freaking L. And along the way, as you choose to do whatever you're going to do, you are going to get torn apart in the public relations thing. Because you may think that you're going to get away with it. No, you're not. And you may be able to silence people who are, in Korea or under your slavery contracts or whatever else. You may be able to intimidate people, but you ain't intimidating this guy, right? You are not intimidating this guy. So all I got to say is, come at me, bro. Come at me. Absolutely. Actually, I'll pull the Kazuna.
Fuck you!
I mean, that's what I have to say to that. To the attempt to try to intimidate people, the attempt to try to scare people. It's not right, and I don't stand for it. And it really enrages me. It really does. Mitchie Lottie says, I'm convinced these companies hired the same $8 PR team, which asked them to slander and self-report themselves. Seriously, I don't know why they do it. I have no idea why they do it and why they don't hire people that even speak English correctly, or because clearly they're making horrible translation errors that are significant in a document that's going to be interpreted not just publicly, but potentially legally, right? This document is going to come into court in America. And, let's say they ever went to America, which they probably would never do. But even if they did, this is admissible. It's a fucking public statement. Sorry to curse, but this is a public statement. This is completely admissible. So it's like, oh, well, you lied here. So you lied. Okay. Well, you're on record for that. Kind of sucks. Harry says, Legal Mindset's back. My sleep schedule is doomed. Yes. Death to your sleep schedule. For Fred 1, welcome as a new member. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Also, Mox Mayhem says we need self-report emote at this point. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad because they just keep doing it. And I don't know if Riku is calling up their manager and is talking to them too. I don't know. Or maybe Ann says, we must protect our brand. But they literally are shooting themselves in the foot by doing this. The smart thing to do is to just walk away. Come on. Zamda says, I took marketing in high school and I could probably do better. I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't. Junie's comment here. I was under the impression this was naivety from a new industry. I'm convinced the idol industry is seeping into VTuber culture. Might be. I think there very much could be. I very much could see that. All right, let's continue with this. So, despite voluntarily requesting the procedure for termination by compensation on February 28th, Serafi informed us she would stop communicating. Yeah, because you assholes, she stopped talking to you because you assholes sent her a $500,000 bill just about. Yeah, I would stop talking to you too if you did that. By the way, make sure you support this channel, because we're probably, with the amount of cursing and my righteous indignation, we're probably going to get the little yellow flag here. So make sure you guys are liking this video, sharing it out there. It really helps us out in the algorithm. All right. After unexpected response, we have been internally discussing ways to resolve it amicably. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. In fact, you know what? They haven't reached out at all with any other proposition other than literally blackmailing her into being a forced worker. They haven't done any of that when they could have, right? When they could have. You know what else I might do? You know what actually I'm going to do? I'm going to take the bill. I'm going to edit out the private information. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to release it. At this point, I think you guys have seen it. Once I cover it, I'm going to release the full bill so you guys can go over it and analyze it. Well, I got to cover it. I got to have one more stream to cover it. But then I think it should be released. But without the private information. Edited. Yeah. So you guys can break it down. That said, after her unexpected response, we have been internally discussing ways to resolve the we know they haven't. We also had not pursued any form of legal action or officially charged her with the amount that was discussed. Yeah, well, you didn't do that because, number one, that would be fraud because you still have her channel up and you did not inform anybody that she was no longer working for you and hadn't been working for you for over a month. But yeah. And yeah, by the way, guys, once again, I'm very careful about editing out names. Don't worry about that. None of this has any private information, PI. So I make sure to be very, 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 very careful. Very careful. So, however, since our last interaction, she has engaged in public online activities that have been damaging to the talents in the company. How has it been damaging to the talents? She specifically said that she was not wishing ill on the other talents. She specifically said she wished the best for the other talents. She specifically came out and said that. Specifically. So that's bullshit, that there's any threat to the talents. Most of her claims were exaggerated and misleading. That's not true. Literally, the only thing that we did was show the documents that they sent. We showed their documents. So what does that mean, right? It's just what we showed. She gave us no choice but to terminate her contract and pursue legal action for the breaches she has made since cutting off communications, including NDA violations and false claims. We hope this announcement can prevent further speculation and misunderstanding about the situation. On April 18th, 2024, all content will be switched to private and all social media. So they're literally telling you they're going to milk it for another month, guys. They're going to milk her content for another month. So they're telling you they want to get that revenue for another month. These people are absolute scum. We apologize for any inconvenience or concern caused by the talents and fans of VNU due to the unexpected event. Sincerely, VNU Entertainment. There's damage to the talents? No. The only damage was caused by you and your self-own and your self-report, because you didn't have to issue that statement. You could have just left well enough alone, but you couldn't do that, could you? You couldn't just shut up. By the way, everybody, we are in contact. So Ali, Serafi, and I, the pilot, we are in contact. So I have not done anything without her explicit permission. So let me say this again. She has given me permission to do what I've done and to run with it. Right. So and I'm on Team Ali. So, you know, and not because she's not my client. She's not hired me, just from a moral standpoint. From a moral standpoint, let me be very clear about that. I'm not her lawyer, just morally. So yeah, just being very clear about that, guys. All right, Tankrat says the refund statement they posted after the statement says they're going to shaft her of December and January because they pay VTubers 2 months later after finalizing YouTube. Yes. So as you guys may know, YouTube pays you a month late. So I just got paid for February, right? So what happened in February, I was just paid for the month of February. So that was nice. February was a good month. I'm just going to say February was pretty nice. Not going to lie. Not gonna cut any corners here. But saying that, they not only wait 1 month to when they get it from YouTube, they take an additional month. So they slow it down 2 months in arrears. 2 months in arrears, which means 2 months behind. That is really slow. That is extremely slow. They do not need to be that slow. In fact, that's kind of ridiculous that they wait that long to pay people out. It's really slow. Secret Final Boss says, your compassion for VTubers goes right. Thank you. I really do. Look, I don't want to see these people get exploited. I mean, and look, I'm not so anti-company that I think all companies are evil and all their interests are unreasonable. No. Look, if they actually did something and they invested in her, and let's say they gave her a loan or something, then yeah, she would have to pay it back. But that's not what they're doing. And they're not offering her a chance, a reasonable chance. What they could have done is saying this. Here's what they could have done. Here's what they could have done, guys. They could have said this. They could have said, we paid for your model, right? So we're going to deduct your model, the cost of your model, from your payment. So from the payment that you're due in the last 2 months, we're going to deduct the model. And if that's all they did, I might say, okay, that might be reasonable, right? That might be reasonable. If it's a couple thousand, if the model cost was low, not $1 million, not $500, if it's a low cost, I might say, okay, that might be reasonable. That might be reasonable. Maybe, right? Okay, maybe I can understand that. But that's not what they did. That's not at all what they're doing. Right? They could choose the path, like someone mentioned, of Idle Corp. By the way, I don't want to give too big of a spoiler, but I may have an interview with the CEO of Idle Corp coming up very soon. So that may be coming up. Also, maybe doing some collaborating with Idle Corp in the future. Just want to say maybe, not for sure, maybe. Full disclosure, we're in talks right now. We're talking. He seems like a very cool guy. So once again, I am not anti corporation. I'm not someone who is out here to get all the CEOs and to come after every corporation. And shout out to the Fishman. The Fishman followed me on Twitter. Shout out to the Fishman. I'm not anti good CEOs. Not at all. Run your company right. It's not hard. It's not difficult, right? Don't take advantage of your talent. Not difficult. So, yeah. Relkin says the smart thing to do is fire the manager to let her accumulate that debt. Where is their termination notice? Yes. There you go. Yeah. It's very interesting. They did. I think there may have been a mailed notice, but once again, I don't know whether or not there was. I'd have to look at the files and talk to Serafi about that. But yeah. Sobri says, as long as you run it by Sayu, food, please. I think you meant Serafi. You're used to me covering Zion Lanza with Sayu, but that's done. That saga's done. The Sayu saga's closed. And mind you, look at what happened with Sayu. So with Sayu, there's a very similar situation, Sayu and this. Because with Sayu spoke her truth. She got out there and told her side of the story. And now she's done. She's moved on. Right? They could have done that the same way. But they chose not to. They chose not to. See, Niji could have responded to that, but they didn't do it, which is smart for them. They instead V and U decided to speak up and decided to deal with it like the Doki Bird situation, and now they're getting a Doki Bird treatment, right? But yeah, Sayu is free, thankfully. Tankrat says in their statement on the 8th of February, they said she was on hiatus 6 days after she requested a leave. Yes, that was a lie. Survey says that was a lie. Northern Lynx says, hello, long time no talk. Hope you've been well. Congrats on the newfound success. Keep up the good work. Cheers from Canada. Been busy with law firm about renting a place. Fun stuff. Yeah, let me know. I've got you on Discord, so hit me up when you finish your game, and I'll try it out. Thank you. Azaha Channel says, oh no, Fishman will ask you to play Mahjong or League. Politely decline. I mean, I don't know how to play either, so that would not be well for me. I'll play StarCraft with him. Semi-Eclectic says, what does it feel like damage to the talents equals what the public does to this, we do to talents? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. JV Robrigado for 125 Filipino pesos. Welcome. Thank you for buying my cab back home tonight. Here to my Airbnb from my work. A pattern of abusive workplace and insult criticism to management is an insult to her former colleagues. Yes. They're misinterpreting that. It's a wild misinterpretation. Silbury says, sorry, I said the wrong name in the previous super chat. Apology, Super. Your apology is accepted, and in fact, it is
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Indeed. All right. So, and when I am on a bit of a time crunch here, guys, so I've got about 30 more minutes, maybe 45 minutes here with you today. But what we will go over now is the actual contract. So we are going to get into the actual contract. I know that you guys are going to copy this, whatever. I'm not obviously sending this out because there's private information, but you guys are free to, just like with the Niji contract, take a screenshot, record it, clip it, do whatever you want with it. You have my blessing, my friends. We're doing it. And this is with the blessing of Amano Serafi. So very clear. She gave me permission to do this. So that said, here is the contract. Let me get to page 1 here. Okay, it's page 1. All right. So, oh wait, no, that's not the program I wanted to open. Okay, here we go. All right, here's the contract. Yes. So let's go here. All private information was redacted. So as you can see here, I cut this out so it does not include the name of the VTuber. I would not include the name of the VTuber. So that's cut out. So, but just understand when they're saying broadcaster is intended to be the pilot of Amano Serafi. Also, someone asked this, but it's not just a base non-signed. No, this is a signed contract to simulate. Now, I am not going to show you the signature of her, but I will show you their signature. So you know it's a signed contract, right? So you guys are going to see this. This is the actual signed contract. Also, real quick before this, Delta Strike says it's telling that even Niji, as poorly as they handled Zion, handled it better than VNU is handling it. Yes, VNU, it's scary to say. When VNU can take PR notes from Niji Sanji, you know it's bad. Also, Hell says, just do a collab with Pippa. She will teach you Mahjong. Maybe we could do one where it's like me, Pippa, and Kirsha. I think that'd be awesome. They'd be like a very based trio. I could throw my ping tuber in there. Be fun. All right. So this is what they agreed to. And this is a very short contract. It's not very long. Okay. So 1, broadcasters work. Well, first of all, they're going to try to pretend this is not a labor contract, but they're calling her a broadcaster. Well, a broadcaster is still a job, right? It's still a job. Also, understand that just because something is in a contract doesn't make it legal. They can try to put things in contracts that are illegal or unenforceable. But we're going to go through this. Broadcasters shall perform high-quality character performance and activities as VTuber in accordance with their request or mutually agreed content schedule, terms, and conditions. The duties of the broadcaster under this agreement shall include vocals, broadcasting content, business consultations for broadcasting purpose, and attending meetings for business. So far, not anything crazy. And once again, guys, I told you guys when I first was commenting on this contract, I told you that this is not the Niji Sanji contract. This is not something that's going to make you think that everything is ridiculous, that everything is horrible, and that it's completely crazy. This is not the type of contract. In fact, many of these provisions are fairly standard. right? And this work, the description of the work is fairly standard. It's not anything special. It's very simple. So just understand my take on this has always been that this is something that is kind of a meh contract, but if anything, it's too short and leaves out a lot of details. Also understand, this is important by professional gentlemen, saying that legal fact, calling somebody a contractor, even in a signed contract, is not what makes somebody a contractor. That is correct. And is not what makes it a labor agreement, right? So understand that as we are reading through this document. All right. So broadcasting. The broadcaster shall broadcast at least 3 days a week, at least 2 hours during one broadcast performance. So for a minimum of 2 hours, and shall write at least 3 posts per week, having agreed quality or better to upload on SNS or otherwise. In connection with the foregoing, company and broadcaster may adjust the frequency from time to time through monthly consultations. But if the consultation does not provide due to any of the circumstances, it will be decided to proceed based on previous consultation matters or broadcasting matters. Broadcaster, with regards to the above consultation, may present and discuss his or own various practical opinion to the company, but the final judgment decision may be made by the company, and broadcasters shall respect and follow that as far as the decision is reasonable. Hold on one second. So here's a big legal point. We hit our first legal point. They try to say that they can, through consultation, unilaterally change the amount that she has to work. That is not reasonable. You cannot have a term that allows you to change the work provision in a contract unilaterally without agreement. That is not okay. That is not all right. That's not okay. You said at least. At least means a minimum. Now, she could stream more as a maximum, but not as a minimum, right? You're saying that you're going to change the minimums based on a monthly consultation. That's bullshit. And also, that's a way around labor law. What they're trying to do is skirt labor law. This would be a big no-no under labor law. And this is what they're trying to do. And it goes to enforceability. It goes to unenforceability of the contract. Let's continue here. Broadcasters shall not slander the company or its employees with any reason or purpose, and any other broadcaster of the company in carrying out this agreement, and is strictly prohibited to use the company's assets or rights stipulated in Article 3 for personal, private purposes other than performing contractual activities. Well, this agreement was terminated, and it was terminated, and also she gave intent to no longer perform. So regardless of whether they wanted to accept it, she had effectively issued them a termination saying, I'm done. It was them that wanted to keep this going, and it was them that decided to spread false facts about her. So if anything, they've defamed, slandered, potentially libeled her, not the other way around. Right? So there's a lot of issues with this perception. But yeah, broadcaster shall be strictly prohibited from making political, racial, hateful, sexual, or provocative remarks. So, you got to keep it PG. Got to keep a little PG here. Or like maybe PG-13 plus. In broadcasting, broadcasters shall share all schedules and contents related to the activities based on the nature of the broadcasting. So you have to tell them what you're doing, and you have to get it approved. Right? Which, by the way, she did get approved. But remember, they did try to pull the stick of truth on her, and say, oh, well, we now have a problem with you covering the stick of truth, doing your South Park stream. When you told her, when you approved that content, and you liked it, but then you're going to tell her to claw back on it. Right? So there was a lot of talking out of both sides of their mouth regarding what they allow and don't allow. But anyways, broadcasting with schedules and contents are not notified that are not notified or strictly prohibited. A broadcaster bears all responsibility for any problems or claims that adversely affect the company's business or result in tangible loss, or shall keep and hold the company indemnified and harmless. So they try to sneak in here an indemnification, which is ridiculous. As an employer, you are responsible for your employee. You can't indemnify your way out. I mean, maybe if this was an actual contractor, but because you're trying to keep her as a slave, that is not a contractor. A slave is not a contractor. A slave is an employee, or rather, it's beyond an employee. It's, a serf. But like, they're trying to hold them out in a sort of relationship that you might have with a contractor, whereas, you can't have contractors indemnify you. You can have that happen. That is possible. However, they're not treating her like a contractor. If you want the indemnification, you need to treat them like a real contractor. And you're not. You're simply not. Right? VNU thinks it's Shield Hero. Yeah. Roger that says Fishman RP'd as a StarCraft turn as a kid. So StarCraft collab is definitely on the table. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right. Let's continue here. So that was numero uno. Let's go to numero dos. Okay, so let me zoom out here and go to the next one. Here we go. This is page 2. The company's assets and rights. Now, this is regarding their IP. Regarding their IP. Companies shall reserve the right to ownership, use rights, business rights of all productions, including various characters, produced, secured, and used by the company. Companies shall also reserve all rights to all accounts necessary for broadcasting using them. So, by the way, this means they can use her Twitter and use her YouTube as they wish. Broadcaster merely has the right to use. So they're just giving her the right to use, those assets, not actually the ownership. So like kind of a license. Broadcaster shall not restrict access to any account, block, close, disclose, or link other accounts without prior written approval or consent. It is strictly forbidden to change the account ID, password, or email without written permission or consent. On the other hand, if the changes are made with prior permission or consent, broadcaster shall notify company of such changes and otherwise, and inform company in detail of the progress when receiving a request for disclosure or sharing with the company. So this is actually pretty standard in regarding ownership. Obviously, you don't own your IP, they do. So, pretty standard there. Not much to say there. All right, business communication with corresponding manager. Here's a big one regarding a failure on their part. If broadcaster wishes to communicate with people inside and outside the company about content that is directly related to activities under this agreement, affects contractual activities, or may affect the business and reputation of the company, broadcaster shall inform to and discuss the related purpose and matters with the corresponding manager in charge of the company in advance. Broadcaster shall be responsible for any friction, conflict, or dispute with the internal, external parties arising from violation of these obligations and take strict responsibilities for losses, damages in the company's business therefrom. Well, guess what? Their managers were not very communicative. Their managers were not actually working with them. Their managers were shirking their responsibilities. So on this side, they were really, really, really negligent. Because they did not provide a manager that was there. Negligent supervision. It's a big deal. They didn't hold up their side of the deal. Big problem. All right. Termination. Here we go. The term of this agreement shall be 1 year. Let me say this one more time. The term of this agreement shall be 1 year. One year. Cotton 4K, baby. Straight up lie. Straight up lie. Got them. They just lied. They just straight up lied. Number one, they didn't even get the date right. The date wasn't even right. But the agreement, uno año, por favore. What is that? Hananyong. Hananyong in Korean. Nyong? Nyong? It's been a while. My Korean's getting rusty. Nungpi in Thai, right? Shout out to my Thai peoples out there, right? Yeah. 1, not 3. Exposed. And Korean years are not like dog years. Sorry, correct it. Ilnyong. Sorry. See, so Korea has two languages for numbers: the Korean system, the native Korean, and the Sino-Korean. There's 2. So anyways, however, 15 days prior to the 4 months after the execution, company may conduct a service evaluation based on their work. And as a result, if it is difficult for them to further collaborate as a VTuber or difficult for broadcaster to continue, either company or broadcaster may terminate, and either party shall not raise any objections. Even before the expiration of this agreement, company may terminate this agreement in consultation with broadcaster, and it's not in consultation, and execute a brand new service agreement with broadcaster regarding VTuber services. Well, guess what, guys? Guess what? They didn't do that. And in America, you need to have an agreement. What is this having no agreement and then asserting you have rights? You can't have an unsigned agreement. This is the only document there was between them. The only document. And this re-signing of an agreement, that never happened. The terms and conditions of the exclusive service agreement are determined through separate mutual consultation. But in any case, it will be more advantageous monetarily for broadcaster. And we had to go to the next page, right? We had to go to the next page. Then those, let me zoom out. Than those in this agreement. What the hell does that mean? So they literally have a clause in here that says, we don't know what the terms of the next agreement are going to be, but we guarantee you it's going to be better than this one. That's a statement of opinion in a legal document. Thank you, Silbury. It's ridiculous. It's not appropriate. Come on. Come on. But let's continue. Let's continue. And yes, guys, I'll try to do a summary at some point of this, but I am working here and I do have to go soon. So this is going to be a shorter stream. Service activity fees and incentives after the expiration of the expiration of period. Companies shall pay USD 500 per month as an activity fee at the end of each month in exchange for broadcasters' sincere activities. I love sincere activities. That's such a legal word. That's not legal. But USD 2,500 for the 4th month. So they pay $500 a month at the end of each month in the beginning, but 2,500 in the 4th month. The activity fee after the 4th month shall be determined through mutual consultation of the parties, which means they're going to change after 4 months. By the way, 4 months would have expired in January of 2023, so a full year ago. So that those payments, look, this is the thing. Article 6, if they asked for their money back under Article 6 and all they asked for was to get back their money under Article 6, then you know what? Maybe I would say that might be reasonable, right? Maybe that might be reasonable if they were only asking for the money under Article 6. So what is that? $500 times 3 is $1,500 plus $2,500. Lawyer math says it's $4,000. If they ask for $4,000 back, I would say, yeah, that's fine. Pay him $4,000 back and get out of it, right? That's $4K. Get out of the deal, $4K, whatever. Pay him back. You're done. Walk away. That might be reasonable. They asked for almost $500,000, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, they asked for almost $500,000, $450,000 in US. Come on. Nature of the agreement. Here's the kicker. Here's the one I just love. This agreement shall not be a labor or employment agreement between the company and the broadcaster, which is a special service. Oh, it's a special service. Providing agreement for which they perform and complete tasks agreed between the parties autonomously. No, they don't. Creatively and in full faith. How is it autonomously if you are enslaving them? It's not autonomous if you are enslaving them and if everything needs to be approved by you. If everything that they do is approved by you, you have total control over their content. That is not autonomous. That is not a contractor. This is an employment agreement. You are retarded. Hold on, let me play the clip.
All right, explain this to me like I'm retarded.
That won't be that hard.
And I know people are going to get mad at me and try to cancel me for that, but you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to say.
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
It is patently chromosomally challenged to think that you're going to get away with calling these types of agreements not labor and employment agreements when you are making them into employees. I'm sorry, they're your employees. If you want to control them like this, they're your employees. If you don't want to control them, then they're not your employees. Stop trying to make them into your slaves. If all you're doing is providing them with a model, then come up with an agreement related to the model. But don't try to make them into an employee that you can deal with like a black company in Korea. Robert Stoll says, have you purchased your VNU company script, fellas? I hope there's no shorting in the market. By the way, isn't Niji Sanji down right now? I think VNU is private company, so there's no stock. I don't think that's publicly available. I'm not sure, but I think it's private. So I know there's not going to be the same situation as with any color, but damn. Some nobody says this sure sounds professional. Yeah. Simply Collector says Niji salary says no salary, but we guarantee that you will not make more than what you're making now. Now, why does that sound familiar? We promise you. Sounds like Niji. Sounds like Niji with Sayu, if you remember that. The Sayu saga. All right, let's continue. Cancellation or termination. Here we go. If it's canceled due to the broadcaster's fault or non-replacement of the agreement, well, it's other than reasons by expiration, cancellation, or termination. Yeah, termination. Broadcaster shall compensate the company for paid up amount in accordance with this agreement. Direct expenses incurred for the performance of VTuber work, replacement, personnel input costs, and damages. If the company's damages cannot be easily calculated or proven by the company, broadcaster shall compensate the company at the company's option with 5 times the amount in this agreement received by broadcaster. This is illegal in the United States. So this cannot be enforced. So this 5 times penalty is literally unenforceable in the United States. There's no way to enforce that. A judge would wipe their ass with that clause to try to punish you at 5 times the amount for trying to leave. Absolute extortion. Trying to get them to pay that. By the way, all of those amounts are not incurred based on the employee. Those are company risks. Those are operating a business. It's called operating a business. Your personnel costs, replacement personnel input costs, no, sorry. That's your cost of training. You bear that burden. That's your risk. Sorry. You're not going to be able to make people indentured servants. Silbury said repeating legal clauses makes them sound legaler. Yeah, it does, right? Some nobody said keep reading this, maybe wonder what if VNU is a North Korean company. Seriously. Hold on 1 second. I got it, guys. I am here as the representative of VNU. I am CEO, head dictator of VNU. This is our contract. 5 times. We also take your puppy and your first burdened child. 조상합니다. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Sorry, that was a message from the head of VNU. Great content, though. Thank you, Some Nobody. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Smash the like button. you like this type of thing. Take Rat says, how is this legal when the contract expired in September 23? I think they magically think they re-signed a contract. I think they can just re-sign a contract by them pretending there's a contract and making up the terms. I really do, Tank Rat. Okay, here we go. Here's the clause they're talking about. So this exclusivity contract is really this prohibition on competition and confidentiality. During the term of this agreement, broadcasters shall have the qualitative and quantitative adverse effect on the work under this agreement in the form of contracts similar to this agreement or a contract related to VTuber activities. VTuber entertainment service providing contract, VTuber entertainment service providing arrangement contract or exclusive contract, etc., with a third party without prior consent, and shall not engage in employment, service, bypass, or exclusion or competition with competitors in any manner. Well, guess what? Guess what? The agreement's term was 1 year, you retard. It's done. It's over. Stupid. I'm sorry. I don't mean to curse so much, guys. It's just these people really work me out. They really do work me out. Trying to abuse people like this, it's really shitty. Broadcasters shall not disclose business progress, business methods, business-related activities with the company in any manner other than purpose of contractual activities, and shall not disclose any other parties who use any information, learn while working in the company, internal activities, business status, without, and hold on, I'm going to go to the next page, without prior consent in the company. Obligations in this article shall survive 3 years after the expiration or termination. So let me explain something about confidentiality, guys, before we go anywhere else. If they are the ones to be breaching confidentiality. So for example, if the company is the one publicly disclosing information and they publicly disclose false information, that is not a breach of confidentiality. That's extortion. Right? And they've breached their own confidentiality. They've released their own confidences. If they've released the information, that's it. What we have here is extortion because they are trying to extort them. They're trying to say things are a problem when they're not. By the way, I love that I just got the TISM pass. Cole Jack says, as a person with autism, I grant Legal Mindset permission to use our word. Thank you. Thank you, Cole Jack. Thank you for the R pass. Appreciate it. Take Rat for 5 says, I got that one. Slavki Nikki says, wouldn't Article 8 be similar to retaliatory actions? I know the term is used for employee when it comes to whistleblowing. Yeah, essentially they're trying to silence whistleblowing. That's not going to fly in the US either, especially when there's workplace abuse. Nathan Abel said, gifted 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Just want to say,
Hello, Beso Department.
Super based, such a Chad. Really appreciate for supporting the stream. Thank you guys for supporting me when I come back. I know it's been a while. I know it's been a minute. I know that the craziness is the Doki Bird situation has died down, and maybe people are just getting back into it. But the support really helps me. It helps me run this channel, helps me do this day to day. So really, thank you so much for supporting me. Chaos Smash 64 says, Team America, Kim Jong-il accent, please. Okay, I got it. Hello, I'm so lonely. V and U is so lonely. We have no Serafi to call our own. Did that work? Did that work for you? Was that good for you? Appreciate all y'all. Some Nobody, 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you, Some Nobody. Coming up yet again big. Appreciate that. Say thank you to Some Nobody if you got a gift membership here from them. Thank you so much for that. Nick Cruiser, what's up, Riser? Says retards are funny. Play the clip one more time.
All right, explain this to me like I'm retarded.
That won't be that hard.
Gordo Gamer says, so many VTuber companies falling apart this year. It's not been that long into the year and saying, yeah, I know, we're just kicking it up. But you know what? I hope they don't, because ultimately, Gordo, what saddens me the most about this is at the end of the day, there's a person, there's a pilot, there's a human being behind this. And the person whose team I am on is Team Human Being, who is the person who's doing this, who's being taken advantage of. That's who I stand for. That's who I'm trying to fight for. And that's why I'm doing this. So, I mean, hopefully these things don't happen. But unfortunately, I just know based on the lack of regulation, they will. They will. Somebody asked, wait, you're live in Manila? Yes, I am in Manila until April 1st, which is why I've not been streaming as often because I am working on business and I have to go very, very soon, which is why I'm kind of moving through this rather quickly. See, a lot of corpos were able to thrive on contracts for years, but now the VTuber bubble is starting to burst. The foundations are shaking. Yes, they were able to get away with it, but now, honestly, there's no longer a monopoly. When there was a monopoly, I can see Niji getting away with it, but now they're getting into an area where there's scrutiny, where people are looking at what's happening and saying, no, we're not going to allow this. All right, let's see here. Let's finish up this contract here. So governing law. Well, here we've got an attempt for them to make this handled under Korean law, be resolved by the Korean Commercial Arbitration Board in Seoul, Korea, in accordance with arbitral rules. The contents of this relevant standard contract recommended by the relevant authority of the Korean government may also be referred to interpretation of this agreement as far as necessary and appropriate. Well, it's entirely fucking inappropriate because this is in America. There's an American employee. This is an American labor contract. And listen, I love Korea. Korea is great. But guess what? Korean law is not going to work here. I'm sorry. So you got to say 안녕하세요 to the Korean law because it's got to go. It's got to go. It's got to step out the back door, right? With the leftover kimchi jjigae, just throw it out the window, right? You're gonna be using American law because this is an American employment agreement. Based on the provisions, it is a American employment agreement. America! You know that country that's got like all those troops that are like, still stationed in Korea? The most troops in all of Asia, that country? Yeah, it's those rules. Those rules. I know you may not like that, but just saying. Zing does whatever. Says North Korea level of dictation, Haiti level of corruption. VNU feels like a fuck you. Yes. By the way, and I'm not saying all Korean agencies are bad, just VNU specifically trying to do this. So obviously, then you have the parties, this statement that, the parties agree. Guess what this agreement doesn't have? Because this is all of it here. It doesn't have a survival clause. So the only thing they tried to make survive was the confidentiality clause, which they breached themselves by their public statements. Congratulations, you owned yourself. You played yourself, right? By saying that she's on a hiatus and lying when she's trying to terminate her contract, that is in fact a breach yourself. So other than that clause they self-breached on, right here, September 15th, 2022, they had this agreement, which doesn't appear to ever been re-signed. Here, this was stamped. The stamp is below, but it's close to the signature of the broadcaster of the VTuber. So I didn't want to risk putting that in the crop. So I removed the stamp. There's a stamp there, like a corporate seal below. I just can't show up because if I show it, it gets too close. It's too close, man. It's too close. So I didn't want to risk it. I don't risk the biscuit. So that's what I got. That's the whole contract, guys. That is the entire VNU contract. How does that compare to Niji Sanji? Well, it's much shorter. It's leaving out a lot. Yes, the Hanko. It's leaving out a lot. Leaving out a whole lot. Nobody says violation of human rights, and you. So that's what I got. Look, Serafi wants to move on from this. But I'm going to stay in tune to both the response from VNU and as well, I'm going to stay in terms of Ali Serafi's response. So I'm going to stay tuned to the responses in general and get on top of those. I know this has been shorter. I know this has not been as long, but we will stay on top of this in terms of the response because I assume that VNU is going to respond to this. And I assume that they're going to be just as dumb as they were before. In their attempts to cover things like this. Let me get this last super here. Oh, no, I got the one. Violation of human rights. Gotcha. Now, that said, do not bother her about this issue. She is well aware of it. And the best thing you can do is just send her support and love for her content. So just go in her, if you want to support her, just support her with what she's doing, whatever she's streaming, right? So just go in and cheer for her, support her, have fun with her, try to get her mind off of it, right? You don't bother her by saying you got to do X, Y, Z, right? And also understand this. She does not want you to bother any of the other talents. And she told you to be nice to them, follow them, continue to support the other talents if you want to. Now, the corporation, I'm going to say personally, this is not her saying it. This is me saying it. I'm a person that says, you know what? If it's me, I'm not going to give my money to the corporation because, well, they've screwed me over, right? And they've screwed over someone I care about. So that's my personal choice, right? If I'm thinking about buying merch or something like that, I'm saying I'm not going to do it. Right, my personal opinion, but that's for you to decide as an individual. Tankrat says, well, the only compensation listed was for the first 4 months. My contract here lists my pay and benefits, and if it changed, I have to sign an amendment. Yes, it's not legal in the U.S. to have an employment contract where your fundamental pay and your hours are changed at the whim of the company. That's not legal. It's probably not illegal in Korea either. Just going to drop this to you here. It's probably not legal in Korea either. The mods have been dropping the channel. I will try to get that in the, and you can see Danielle's got it right there. So you can get that for her channel right there. Alien Mixture, just go ahead and shoot that. But yeah, we've got that out there. So that said, guys, that is what we have today. I know it's a lot shorter of a stream, and I know this is going to be someone that's a lot under what it is usually for a legal mindset stream, going 4, 5, 6 hours. But like I said, I am working my butt off. I'm working my butt off here in Manila, Philippines. I'm loving it. Shout out to the Philippines. Shout out to Jollibee. I take back, I know on another stream I said that, Filipino food was like an A tier and everything else was S tier. I'm taking it back. Filipino food's also S tier. All of Asia food's S tier. And really, really good. I'm having a great time. Super hospitable, super great. First time here in the Philippines. I'm already thinking, am I going to need a vacation place here because I'm just having such a great time. I'm really, really enjoying it here in the Phils. It is absolutely great. And I want to check out more of this very beautiful, very hospitable country. Really, really appreciate everybody here and all the good stuff here as well. Thank you. Appreciate all of you, all you base Chads and Stacy's. Shout out to all those people over here in Asia as well, over there in Korea, Philippines, Thailand, Japan, wherever you are. I see you, I notice you, and I will catch you all on the next one. Let me get this last one. Hiro Shumizi says, it feels like VTubing is going through growing pains of a new industry, and people are now learning their own rights in light of the lack of regulation. Yes, and I will be here to bring light to that lack of regulation, especially whenever there's an injustice. I will be here to cover that. Until next time, guys, stay based. Catch you later. Let's
Maybe
go.
I have a chance. You goddamn crocodile! Go back to the fucking Florida! Go back to the Florida, you fucking crocodile!
Yeah, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to